Thursday, the Legal Aid Society said it was lifting the veil on claims of misconduct, but police officials warned against false allegations. It's Thursday. Weather, a chance of flurries, then partly sunny. Enjoy the flakes while they last. Alternate side parking, in effect until March 21. Purim. After Eric Garner died in an officer's chokehold on Staten Island in 2014, questions were raised about who holds the police accountable. Now a nonprofit group is making public thousands of lawsuits by people who say they are victims of police misconduct in New York City. The group, the Legal Aid Society, unveiled an online database yesterday called CapStat. But police unions in New York warn that the information includes false allegations. Here's what you need to know about it. What does the database include? To date, the database contains information about 2,339 lawsuits accusing 3,897 officers of violating the federal civil rights of various plaintiffs. The suits were filed between January 2015 and mid-2018. The website also has disciplinary records for about 1,800 officers accused of misconduct between 2011 and 2015. Why is the database useful? You can look up who has been sued, and why. It's not just about finding a bad officer, but identifying systemic problems, said Cynthia Conti-Cook, a staff attorney at the Legal Aid Society. In other words, she said, if a pattern was widespread enough, the people held responsible might not just be officers or commanders, but the head of a department, or the mayor. Is there a downside to making information public? The police department and the police unions said some of the lawsuits were frivolous, but could be used to undermine officers' credibility. This database is clearly to help guilty criminals beat the charges against them, Patrick Lynch, president of the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, said in an email. What does the data show? Here is information from the CapStat database. An updated search of court records may yield different results. Out of 307 lawsuits filed in which the plaintiff was identified as Black, 96 were settled for a total of $7.6 million. Out of 55 lawsuits filed in which the plaintiff was identified as Latino, 16 were settled for a total of $1.2 million. Out of 238 lawsuits filed in which the plaintiff was identified as female, 74 were settled for a total of $2.2 million. 72 lawsuits were filed citing retaliation for recording, 27 were settled for a total of $711,256, 48 lawsuits were filed citing the use of a chokehold, 21 were settled for a total of $846,001. 292 lawsuits were filed citing tight handcuffs, 106 were settled for a total of $2.4 million. The 75th precinct, which includes Brooklyn's East New York neighborhood, was involved in the most lawsuits of any precinct, 91. The settlements totaled more than $9.1 million. Mario Batali gave up his restaurants. The celebrity chef, who was accused of sexual misconduct, is also selling his shares in Italy. New York will add 4 statues of women. The city is seeking to fix a gender gap in public art. She accused 2 police officers of rape. Then her testimony was questioned. A Brooklyn man got into a fistfight. 2 hours later, his little brother was shot dead. A mother and daughter both have HIV. The U.S. lets in only one. The mini crossword. Here is today's puzzle. Rusted debris from the 7 train tracks fell and damaged a car in Queens yesterday afternoon, days after a similar incident. New York. After 42 years, a kosher bakery on 2nd Avenue has closed. 6SQFT. New York City is no longer the best place in the world to live if you're rich. Thanks, London. New York Post. A screening of the documentary, Chisholm, 72, Unbought and Unbossed, at the Brooklyn Historical Society in Brooklyn Heights. 6:30 p.m. Free. The circus and burlesque collide at Boys' Night, an all-male circlesque review, at the Slipper Room on the Lower East Side. 8:30 p.m. $15. The trivia podcast, Ask Me Another, holds a live taping at the Bell House in Gowanus. The comedian Aparna Nancherla will be a guest. 7:30 p.m. $15.